just like two guys in a classroom. You know, he sits on one side, I sit on the other side.
My confidence is unshakable. You won't see me waver.
I would have full belief that he's going to go there and he's going to have his hair on fire to go win that job.
The organization is going to make decisions that are out of my control, and all I'm going to do is focus on what I can control.
Here we come.
Breaking news in the NFL. Vikings have named Kyler Murray as the starter for Week 1.
He's demonstrated what he's capable of. He's got the skill set.
Welcome to First Take. I'm Evan Cohen in for Shea alongside Chris Canty, Steve Smith Sr., Dan Orlovsky. We begin in Minnesota, where Kyler Murray was named the Vikings starting quarterback yesterday, with J.J. McCarthy serving as the backup, 2 years removed from being the 10th overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. While making the announcement yesterday, head coach Kevin O'Connell said Murray had shown enough to earn the job. Here's both Kyler and J.J. on the decision.
I take this, this job with great pride. There's been a lot of great quarterback play here in the past, and I just hope to continue to carry that tradition on. I didn't expect to be handed the job or anything like that. I just expected to come here and compete, and I'm very appreciative of how it was handled.
Obviously, every competitor wants to play, but moving forward, it's just about continuing to work hard and just staying ready for when my number's called. This is a place I want to be, and I love every single person in this building. I love this state. I love the fan base, and I'm going to continue to just do whatever I can for this team and this organization.
So in an era of quarterback continuity, Kyler Murray will be the fourth different Vikings quarterback to start Week 1 in just 5 seasons under Kevin O'Connell. Last year, McCarthy started 10 games, injury-filled campaign. But while he was out in 2024, Sam Darnold led Minnesota to a 14-3 record. So, CC, is this a bigger decision and a bigger indictment of McCarthy or Kevin O'Connell?
Oh, it's a bigger indictment on Kevin O'Connell. And here's the reason why. You're talking about the organization missing on 3 quarterback evaluations in the last calendar year. And what I mean by that is this. Not only did you miss on the decision to start J.J. McCarthy and draft J.J. McCarthy ultimately, but you missed when it came to your evaluation of Sam Darnold, and you missed when it came to your evaluation of Daniel Jones and how that would impact overall team success. The default is the fact that you have to sign Kyler Murray in free agency, and you agree to a contract where there's no franchise tag clause in place. But the misses on all of those quarterback evaluations is more of an indictment on the head coach than it is J.J. McCarthy.
You want to get him or we want me? You're new, so you want to get him?
He's my ex-locker mate.
All right, so let me go after him.
He was on my left side.
Please.
How is this an indictment on Kevin O'Connell more than J.J. McCarthy? Kevin O'Connell doesn't have end power in Minnesota, to our knowledge. He doesn't get to determine, okay, let Sam out the door. We don't want Sam. Or let Daniel Jones out the door. We don't want them. They tried to keep Sam Darnold. Did not. It wasn't all Kevin O'Connell's decision. They offered him cash. They tried to keep Daniel Jones, offered him a lot of cash, I believe, more than Indianapolis offered him. Daniel Jones chose the left. Not all those decisions are just on Kevin O'Connell. This falls on J.J. McCarthy, and this story's not over, but J.J. McCarthy, 2 reasons. One, he wasn't healthy, and part of that is out of his control, and part of that is in his control in some ways. And then 2, the play just wasn't good enough.
Correct.
The play when it comes to QBR with Kevin O'Connell, Sam Darnold was at 57.3, Kirk Cousins at 56, J.J. McCarthy at 35. Just not good enough. When it comes to guys getting open, J.J. McCarthy in completion percentage, when a guy would get 1 yard open, he was last in the NFL. When a guy would get 3 yards open, he was last in the NFL. When a guy would get 5 yards open, he was last in the NFL. And so the play for J.J., because of maybe a lack of experience or just not being good enough, it just wasn't up to par. We've seen Kevin O'Connell with good players make them produce at a very high level. And so there's very little for me that is falling upon Kevin O'Connell in this situation. And it's not because of the 2 guys that are no longer in that building, because those weren't his final say.
Steve?
People I talked to in Minnesota, the people I talked to in Minnesota, they just said that the consistency did not align with the draft pick. Understanding a top 10 pick and supply and demand. The supply and demand with the quarterback position is that sometimes you reach. you grab a guy. When you look at J.J. McCarthy, you look at his body of work when he was at Michigan, he was never asked to carry a team. Never. He had a great defense, he had some running game, he was never asked to carry it. So when you have that, and here again, a lot of teams have won championships, Super Bowls, by what? Having a guy who can manage and having better pieces around him on offense, but mainly defense. And if you feel and know what I'm hinting to without me saying it, you know who I'm talking about. So that's what's going on is you get a quarterback who's never been asked to carry a team. Now he is asked to carry a team with responsibilities. Great kid. But just because you're a great kid or a good man doesn't mean that equals to being a good football player.
Oh, man, y'all boys must be on retainer from Kevin O'Connell. I get that y'all are the offensive guys and you want to defend the offensive coach, but this is absolutely ridiculous. It is. I mean, listen, I am a fan of the Hoop Collective. Brian Windhorse's podcast is awesome. He does an amazing job. And one of the things that he always says is actions over words. Sure. And so when you start talking about the power dynamic and who's making the decisions in Minnesota as it pertains to quarterbacks, I look at what the Vikings did back in January of 2025 when they gave Kevin O'Connell an extension to the tune of $15 million a year, making him one of the highest paid coaches in the sport. Okay. And that was the same offseason that coincided with them allowing Sam Darnold and allowing Daniel Jones to walk in free agency. Now, you say that Minnesota offered DJ more money than Indy. The reason why Daniel Jones didn't stay in Minnesota is because they wouldn't guarantee him the starting quarterback job.
Of course not.
And so he went to Indy. But here's my point, though. If you're Kevin O'Connell, you have to understand where J.J. McCarthy is in his overall development and know that he's not ready to be the starting quarterback and for the team to get to where they want to go. So that is as much on the head coach as it is anybody else in Minnesota.
Chris, come on, dog. You know well, just because you're the highest paid doesn't mean that you get the autonomy to make all the decisions.
Money is power in most NFL organizations.
Yes, money is power. Mirage, but that doesn't mean you get to make decisions. Every team is structured differently, which is why they let go of their former general manager, because some of the decisions he was making was not good.
So he's the general manager. That he only makes the decision without consulting the head coach, without consulting anybody else.
But at the end of the day, Chris,
come on, guys. We're not keeping it above.
The calendar of the events matters here.
That's what I'm saying.
So Sam Darnold comes over from San Francisco where he did not play, and most of his career had been a disappointment. He comes over from San Francisco as a free agent. They also draft J.J. McCarthy, okay? So there is an unknown between both players.
Top 10.
In that situation. Hand up, I thought J.J. was going to be good in Minnesota. I thought it was the ideal setting.
Yeah.
So far in that situation, I would be wrong in it. Sam plays because J.J.'s hurt or wins it, whatever.
Correct.
Sam plays, lights it up. Okay, so now it's decision-making time. As an organization, you have a one-year sample of a guy hooping, and then you have a player that you took 10th in the draft at that position. And you're trying to make the proper decision of, well, are we banking on the guy that had that one season, or we went up and took this guy because we all thought, or some of us thought, this young player from Michigan is going to be a good player. Sam chooses to leave. We don't know all the details of what the money opportunity was in Minnesota, if it was close to Seattle. Then we go into this past season, correct? Daniel Jones is a free agent. They sign him or gets cut by the Giants. They bring him over. They go into that year, and Daniel hadn't proved anything either in Minnesota. So you're not guaranteeing Daniel Jones the starting quarterback. He was coming off of getting cut by the New York Giants. And so you can't just, it's a situation that needs a lot of context into it. I'll put it this way. If Kevin O'Connell got fired today, how many teams do you think are trying to hire him tomorrow?
A ton.
Yeah. But is that, okay, well, let's go back to something both of you said.
Hold on,
go ahead.
I can tell you this. I spoke to some people that had told me, not Minnesota, that said when they were at J.J. McCarthy's pro day, it was probably one of the most impressive pro days that they've seen in a very long time.
Okay.
So again, perception is reality. And also, too, we've also seen Zach Wilson. Some people said that his pro day was remarkable. Right. Some people said Trey Lance's pro day was remarkable. And all these guys have been remarkably picked. And what has happened? Because it's the first date. You're getting the best suit, the best perfume, cologne, and then all of a sudden, the next couple of days, over the next couple of months, you wake up and the breath stank all the time. You start to realize that it ain't even about the honeymoon stage. It just didn't, what you bought and what you took home ain't the same.
I hear you, Steve, and I hear everything that you're saying, Dano, and any one of these single decisions as it pertains to all of the key actors at quarterback in Minnesota, I would be willing to dismiss them in a one-off. But we're talking about 4 different players in Minnesota factoring into the quarterback equation over the last calendar year. And what I am saying is this. Either Kevin O'Connell is the only offensive-minded head coach who has zero say, zero clout when it comes to who his quarterback is going to be in the franchise, or Kevin O'Connell has a hand, has fingerprints in some of the evaluations and the misses when it comes to what happened in Minnesota with their quarterback room.
Let's stay in that division to a quarterback that is working, okay? To Chicago, where Bears head coach Ben Johnson is setting the bar high, coming off of the NFC North title in his first year in the Windy City. Last year, Bears offense, 6th in total offense, 9th in scoring, of course led by their quarterback Caleb Williams, who took a major leap under his new head coach. Johnson told Dan Pompei of The Athletic, quote, "You've got 31 other teams coming to training camp saying our goal is to win the Super Bowl. I want more than that," he added. "I want to have the highest scoring offense ever," which happens to be the 2013 Denver Broncos. I know how many points per game they scored. That's 37.9. And I want to surpass them. I want shutouts. I want blowouts. Do you like